everyone, I'm Colleen. Thanks for joining us for Earth's History Explained by a Light Being, Episode 2. So we learned a ton in Episode 1, including the fact that our guest for this series is going to be the same guest for the entire series. And she is the light being who once incarnated as Pele, so we call her Pele. And she has some important information to share with us about the history of Earth. So we were asked to pause our conversations from beyond the other series on this channel. And we're going to do this series. And then apparently we're told that conversations from beyond will be back. So in Episode 1, we learned a ton, like the stuff I've been absorbing ever since we recorded, about the beginnings of Earth and the first inhabitants of Earth and all kinds of topics. We don't know in advance what the messages will be, so I'm excited to see what we're going to learn today. In a second, I'll pass things over to Cindy, and she channels the first part of the message, and then we chat about it a little bit or ask some follow-up questions of our guest, and then we go from there. So I'm ready to see what we're going to learn today. So Cindy, I will pass things over to you.
Thank you. Hi, Cindy here, also known as Lady of the Forest 444 on my other YouTube channel. And yes, these messages have been mind-opening, like beliefs that we've held for a very long time are being rattled a little bit. And so it's up to you. Even for me, these messages coming through, they're so different than what we've believed for so long that, you know, everybody has to check inside and see how you feel about it. But I find this absolutely fascinating, and it brings me so much joy, and I'm so driven to keep getting these messages that for me, I know that that's a clear message, that there's something deep going on here, and there are truths being revealed. And I trust my angels explicitly, and my angels step aside to bring in these beings of light. And for this one, it's Pele, and I worked with Pele for years and years when I first started channeling like this. Okay, so I'm super excited to get going. I'm going to light my candle to set the energy and bring in my angels.
I'm ready to type out the message or some notes.
All right. Okay. And I will tilt this down a little bit so you can see a little bit of what's happening with the pendulum. As the pendulum swings to the letters, I channel the words. It just helps me to focus. So the pendulum is perfectly still. This tells me my angels have stepped aside and there is a being of light here. This is Pele. I have some exciting things to share with you today. You will be able to understand these messages and feel the truth of these words more and more as this year unfolds. This is the year of truth. And this truth will become a wonderful new path for understanding the history of Earth and the history of humans on Earth. So, you are going to have a knowing experience when you feel the truth in these messages. If this happens for you immediately, count yourself as a light being that is involved in the Earth story for a very long time. Old souls will feel the truth of messages about Earth's history because they were there. Newer souls may not have been on Earth for these experiences and will not immediately feel the truth. That is as it is. There is no judgment. There is also another reason why a person may not feel the truth. There are many souls who have spent a lot of time on other planets in Earth's atmosphere. When I speak of Earth's atmosphere, I am speaking of the universe that was created along with Earth, and everything within this creation is inhabited by souls from the universe of all that is. These souls are all of the light and love of all that is. However, many souls have been incarnating as alien planets? No. No, okay. Have been incarnating on alien planets. There we go. These people are now incarnated on Earth, but have not been here for all this history and may not feel the truth until they embody more of their love energy imprint from this side of awareness. Once people begin embodying their love energy imprint from home, they will begin remembering the history of Earth and Earth's atmosphere. This truth will begin to come out this year, and more people will feel the truth for themselves and begin remembering for themselves. So, I'm going to explain a little bit more about people who have incarnated many times as alien species in Earth's atmosphere. These alien species are mostly loving and protective of Earth. However, some souls have wanted to have a different experience on Earth, and they planned to have alien experiences that were not loving and protective. So that means that some souls incarnate as aliens that are not loving. This does not mean that they are evil or have a plan to take over Earth. This means that they are playing a role to give someone an experience they wish to have. There are many reasons for these various experiences. Some are purely curiosity. Others are to develop a healing love energy imprint to help others. And others plan experiences like this to have a full and wild spectrum of experiences on Earth. The Earth experience is incredibly unique in all that is. And people have signed up to experience life on Earth for the experience itself. While incarnated, many people do not understand this and feel angry about this idea and think they would never sign up for the experiences they've had. These are often the people that did sign up excitedly for certain experiences. So, the alien experience on Earth is real, and it is an experience that many people and love-filled beings are creating together. Remember, all aliens are light beings. They are playing a part in Earth's experience, just as you are playing a part in Earth's experience. So this will help you to understand that some people on Earth feel more associated with a planet in Earth's atmosphere than they do with Earth. Some people who are incarnated on Earth now are literally here for the first time. However, they have incarnated many, many, many times on another planet in Earth's atmosphere. These people are on Earth now to help with the healing process of many people who have been involved in the fear experiences associated with aliens on Earth. So these people who are new here are here to bring healing to the people who were on the receiving end of fear experiences around aliens. So these people who are here on Earth for the first time have a healing key to give to people who are in need of healing around alien experiences of fear. The people who have incarnated as aliens for many lifetimes have usually incarnated as both loving and fearful aliens. This was for a specific purpose. When they carry both of these love energy imprints within them, they are able to help people heal from the fear experiences, because they also carry with them the loving love energy imprint around alien experiences. So, by carrying both loving and fear-related love energy imprints around healing, these people can now help others heal their fear-related alien experiences. The people with the healing keys are very powerful because they have been through many, many, many incarnations as aliens. These many incarnations have created a powerful love energy imprint within them that will allow them to help people heal from fear-related alien experiences in a powerful and loving way. So this is why many people are on Earth now and feel like they do not belong on Earth. They refer to themselves as starseeds. And in a way, they are. These starseeds have indeed spent most of their incarnation in their incarnations in Earth's atmosphere as beings off of Earth. They are from the stars, and they feel at home in the stars. And they are bringing healing to people on Earth that only they can bring. Okay, and with that, she's done for now.
Wow, I get it.
It's so interesting, eh? That it's like space inside of space. Like yeah, it's kind of wild. Like up until now, I would look out and think like that Earth was just Earth, not the whole universe. But they explained that last time, right? That Earth's whole universe was created as part of the Earth's atmosphere, is how they're sort of referring to it now. But yeah, and then having all these different experiences, including alien experiences here on Earth. So it's just
Right.
really fascinating.
I don't remember much about it, but remember Star Trek, the guy who lived in a snow globe?
Yes.
But really there was another one. He thought that was his whole existence. Yeah, and actually I made a note here. I put some, just a second, get Cindy to explain this. Keys, love energy imprints and keys to help heal. Yeah, so I just wondered if you wanted to say a little bit about what your angels have taught us about that, because
Yeah,
it's
so
here a few times.
yeah, when we come in and we experience something, so we sign up for something, that's our karma. They don't talk about karma as a punishment and reward. It's just what you signed up to experience. If you didn't heal that experience fully, then you bring that forward into another life. And once you heal a certain experience, a certain trauma, whatever it is, once you heal that, then you receive or you create like a healing key within your love energy imprint. And then when you meet other people, anytime we interact, and this can be virtual interactions as well, even thinking about someone. So you can think about someone on the other side of the world, someone in a war-torn situation. And if you have a healing key for a situation similar to what they're going through, when you have that connection, you share part of your love energy with them, and your healing keys get shared with them as well. So everything that we've healed in all of our lifetimes up to now, when we share love energy with someone by having an interaction, which can be as simple as a smile. You share all of your healing keys with that person as well, which gives them a boost in their own healing process. And so as more and more of us do our own personal work and our own personal healing, that's just going to multiply and multiply and multiply exponentially as we get into this and get rolling. And we're going to be helping and giving people boosts all the time with our own healing keys. So that's what they mean. It's like you've created this specific key that helps to heal that particular trauma or similar traumas. And yeah, you share those with each other. Just
Thank you.
Smiling.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean you spontaneously heal them. It means that you help them to heal their.
Yeah, it just sort of gives them a boost. It's like a catalyst for their own healing.
Yeah.
It's like that love, that energy comes into their awareness and it sort of awakens, oh, okay, and starts this healing process within them because they've received a key that unlocks something,
So they were saying that some souls incarnate as aliens. So the whole thing about there are aliens in the first episode, we learned that there is Earth's universe.
Yes.
And there is the universe that's in all that is all the universe in all that is. So we're talking about Earth's atmosphere here, which is like a creation of all of us.
Yes.
So in that atmosphere, there are aliens, and there are, like, I'm going to say not nice aliens.
Yes.
Yeah, because I kind of have always leaned towards not believing that there were, but it's probably just not in my experience,
Exactly.
And we definitely have heard from people who've had experience with not nice aliens. So people who have souls who have incarnated as there's different aliens that are not loving. I know she didn't say not nice aliens, aliens that are not loving, who have incarnated as aliens that are not loving before, doesn't mean they are evil or have a plan to take over Earth. This means they are playing a role to give someone an experience they wish to have. And then others some are pure curiosity, others are to develop a healing love energy imprint to help others. So then further down, so these people are here on Earth for the first time. Okay, so they've been aliens that have been not loving and have given experiences to others and now they carry a key.
Yeah.
So then these people who are here on Earth for the first time have a healing key to give to people who are in need of healing around alien experiences of fear. The people who've incarnated as aliens for many lifetimes have usually incarnated as both loving and fearful aliens. This was for a specific purpose. When they carry both of these love energy imprints with them, they are able to help people heal from the fear experiences because they also carry with them the loving love energy imprint around alien experiences. So actually, because I was just, actually not reading, because it's just not in my things that I want to read. I was just scrolling by something about, again, because I don't read it, right? I'm only have a light understanding. The lizard people and another kind of nasty aliens. People and something else. Anyway, and their plan to, because they're quashing Earth's, I'm not mocking, I'm doing I don't know all the details, but anyway, they're quashing Earth's ability to ascend, taking over Earth, and over towards evil. So I scroll by, like I said, because I don't tend, wasn't in my plans for when I came here. I scroll by it oh, that's not real, but that's not necessarily true.
No.
It is very true for others, but just because there might be these evil lizard beings, or sorry that I don't know exactly for anybody who's
I don't know what they're called either.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, those ones. There's still light beings who incarnated as that.
Yes.
Because they're only in Earth's universe, right? And all of the light beings are from the all that is universe. So think about it, that deep down they're not really going to succeed you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
They're just going
yes,
to
I
make
do.
people have fear. This is just coming together as I'm saying it. They're just going to make people have fear that it's going to succeed and we're never going to ascend and they're going to destroy Earth and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But really, they're love beings. They're
Yes.
beings of light.
But those people have signed up to experience that. So that is their karma. Okay. They're like, okay, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to be afraid of these lizard beings and it's going to create all of this for me. And I'm going to heal from that.
And another
This
one
is what
says,
I
I
want to
sign up
experience.
as a lizard being.
Yes. And
Right?
somebody else is like, hey, okay, well, I'm your best buddy over here on the other side. I'll be the lizard being that tortures you. So, okay, we're going to have such a blast. Oh my God. And then they get here. And of course, we forget everything and it's not such a blast. But
Yes.
there is a point to it, right? Because it's in that healing process. It's in that experiencing the karma, what you signed up for, and then healing from that and still seeing the light. Because in order to heal from that, you have to still sort of have holding light somewhere in your life, right? Like you can't heal from it if you're not allowing light into your life.
Mhm.
So just that healing process in itself is you looking to the light. And that's what a light worker is. We're just looking and working with the light to heal ourselves, to do the shadow work. They both go together. And in doing that, you then free yourself from that karma. It's over. And so then all that negative experience with that whole thing disappears. When you're done with the karma, it disappears from your life. It doesn't mean that it's gone completely because, like you said, the lizard beings are still whatever. They're affecting somebody else now. But when
Yeah.
you're done yours, that disappears from your life. And that's the stage that we're in right now is people are really heavily clearing their karma, which is why it looks like absolute chaos. But we're working really hard in getting through this. And when it starts to flip, it's going to go really fast.
Well, yeah, and you bring actually, so when you leave questions in the comments or all your thoughts, thank you so much for all the comments, by the way. Like they're these long, thoughtful, it gives me a whole other perspective on what we're getting in some of the videos and that. But anyway, sometimes when you ask questions in there, it just ends up working in. Like we have done episodes where we're actually specifically answering questions. But anyway, so there have been several people, and one in particular who's a regular who, hi, Captain, comments a lot, and I think on your videos too, Cindy, on your channel. Anyway, has brought up, and so have some others. But why? Like, why does there have to be all this suffering? Why does there have to be? I would like to ask, like, 'cause that's kind of what we're saying, right? You're saying that they're, the person who agreed to come in as the lizard person is coming in to agree to like their best friends on the other side. You know what I mean? To torture, whatever, make a horrific experience for the other one. And like we're using that almost as a very small example, but there's a lot of suffering goes on in the 3D, like the human perspective existence. Why?
So I'll give you sort of what I think about it, what I know about from different messages, and then we can go to Pele
Yes.
and ask that question. So Earth was an experiment to see if we could create light from a blank slate, is how they described it. So every other, like when we're on the other side and we go to the different homes or whatever, like, or any other planet, if there are other planets, there's no other place like Earth where we are born not knowing, where we are born not remembering our light selves, our love-filled selves. And we're sort of given this, okay, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to create light? Are you going to turn to the light? Or are you going to go into darkness? Like, what are we going to do here? This was the experiment. Everywhere else, when we're born or incarnated or however, we remember who we truly are and we bring that in with us. So we're born in light and love.
Right.
Not here.
No.
So that's the experiment. And what started to happen, I think, was that over time, we would experience a negative experience. And if we didn't heal that, then we had to come back the next time. We chose to come back because the whole point is to see, are we going to create light? Are we going to, in the end, go through everything and still choose light? But we started building up karma because we weren't completing it in that lifetime. We would experience something, didn't complete the karma, and had to come back.
You're,
Come back.
I'm going to get you to elaborate on something that you and I understand. Like, you're talking to sort of
Yeah.
me. I understand it. But so in this example you're giving, what do you mean by if you didn't heal it and then you've got to bring it back? Like when you go through a negative experience,
Yeah.
then also, what do we mean by choosing the light
So when you
in that context of
yeah,
that example?
when you experience a trauma, so let's say, you've come in and I don't know, whatever trauma, it doesn't matter what, we all know what trauma is. You experience a trauma, you have to heal that. And part of healing that is feeling it. You have to feel those negative emotions, those hard, dense emotions, and let them bubble up, because feeling is healing, is how my angels have described it. And choosing the light. So choosing love, choosing not to let that just sink you down into a puddle of darkness and just sit in the corner and cry forever. Like, you're allowed to do
Or
it for a little while.
worse, sit in the corner and be a mad,
Yes.
angry person.
Yes, exactly. And so ways that we can sometimes avoid doing that is by starting to drink, is by committing suicide and ending things, which is sometimes that's something you're supposed to do. Sometimes that is part of your plan. And sometimes it's not necessarily.
Yeah, you're doing it to avoid the feeling.
Exactly. So, or if the trauma happens at the end of your life, if the trauma happens at the end of your life because that's how you were killed, well, then clearly you need to come back and heal that trauma. So there's all kinds of ways where you would, avoid it, just even pushing it down and just completely ignoring those feelings, not letting them come up. Like, there's a million ways that we store the trauma and never deal with it. So, but that's not the point. The point is to bring it up, to deal with it, and eventually return to the light, the love, and yeah.
Which we might even just call a positive attitude. Return to some kind of hope or something, instead of just, like how I was saying, going into the corner, becoming just this angry, everything sucks person.
Because
Feeling
love
it and letting it go, but not getting mired in it, and not also like, like we said, like medicating it or something so that you don't have to feel it. And then, but then coming back around, right, to somehow embodying light and realizing that this was part of something that you planned for a reason.
Exactly. That there's a bigger thing happening than what we're
experience.
experiencing here.
Yeah.
And remembering who we truly, remembering that we are beings of love. I forget what I was going to say.
I'll bring you back over now. Sorry, it was just because I knew that for some people we might be skipping over some pretty big parts. Why does there have to be all this mass crazy
what I was going to say
suffering?
was that
Individual. Why?
because karma has built up, I think, over the years. That is part of it. So, I mean, Pele did talk about when she first incarnated as an energetic being in Earth's atmosphere. She had all that anger, right? Because she was cut off and didn't remember who she was, didn't remember her love beginnings, her love essential being. And so she sat in anger for eons and created the core of Earth, the molten core and all that. So, but then we sort of went through a period where as beings of energy beings in Earth's atmosphere, we sort of got the hang of it and we're doing okay. But then when we incarnated into human form, again, we went back into this density and it became difficult again. And so the karma started to build up because we weren't able to heal it as fast. But that's why in this incarnation of Earth, they actually recruited a whole bunch of high-level, light-loving souls from around all that is, the universe, to come to Earth. Because those souls, because they're so powerful and they have experienced so much growth as a soul, because they're high-level souls, they have an easier time or a better connection to who they truly are. And so they're the ones that are now sort of helping, because through my private readings and stuff, I've been learning that there are some people now who came in and signed up for certain karma that has now snowballed on them, and they are unable to get themselves out on their own. Like now it's just built up over so many lifetimes that they can't do it without help. But it's this first wave, in the first few waves of light workers that are powerful and have been able to keep up with their karma and clear
Have
their karma
keys.
and heal, that are now going to lend a helping hand to those other people. And they've said, this does not mean that those people have not done their work. They have. They've gotten, it just became too much for them. But
Mhm.
they're like, they have done tremendous amount of work
Yep, but
in
there's
trying to heal.
it's
But
too
it's just
heavy.
been too much. So they just need a helping hand. They need that boost. And so that's what these first waves are doing. And so why is I just think it's just it started to snowball and became like it just got carried over and carried over and carried over and became a lot. And I think that that's what the first two incarnations of Earth, why they failed. But then in this one, they brought in these high level souls, and that's made the difference because now we're going to be helping people
Mhm.
to get out of the hole of karma that they're in.
Yes, thank you for all that.
Yeah.
So these high level souls then, because we've heard that in some previous videos that the high level souls, highest level souls were recruited to come in on this third version, I guess, of Earth.
Yes.
I guess high, because again with the terms, you know, and it's me, so we know I'm very, very detailed, and I'm always like, but what does that mean? Like, so I guess the high level souls would have a lot of keys. They probably have worked
Yes.
through a lot of their karma. You know, that's like they've been around for a long time. Like when we say high level, I don't think we mean like British royalty, you're just born there. Like, you know, I think it's
No, on this in the soul realm, on the other side of awareness, they do work too. They grow and learn as souls and reach certain levels.
yeah. So
We
what
know
makes
a
you a
whole
high
lot
level
about that.
soul? You know, how do you
Yeah.
get to be a high level soul? And you're
Yeah.
not just born that way. So they probably have lots of keys, which we just
Yes.
explained, and come in with lots of keys. Interesting. Cool. Well, we'll see
Yeah.
too, although I'm happy with that, because I know that your answer comes from all kinds of other messages you've
Yeah.
received. And actually, so by the way, like we're channeling when we're sometimes just talking about that happens with you and I a lot, right? When we're in our
Yeah.
conversations, where it's not just all necessarily coming from our brain. Anyway, so I am good with your answer, but we'll also, when we go back to Pele, see if Pele wants to talk about the suffering
Yeah.
too. But I've got another one because you brought it up
Okay.
that still goes with all this, I think. Yeah. And was also a question in the comments, like what happened to Earth 1 and Earth 2? That's what I wrote down, so that's what I'm calling it. If this
Okay.
is the third incarnation of Earth, because the first two failed, what happened then to them? Did they like, and then they had to start all over? Because we,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
I know
did the
nothing.
planet, yeah, or did the planet stay and the people disappear? Because Pele says that she created it, like, right, like from her anger. By the way, that's in, is that in CFB9 or in EH1? But anyway, it's in one of the past two videos where Pele talks about that, how she actually created the core of the earth, and how it was an example. She sums up how it was an example of something really bad, feeling bad, something that felt really bad, ending up being something really good and productive.
Yes.
Because it created.
Anger being constructive rather than
Yeah,
destructive.
exactly.
Yeah.
So when she created that, was that Earth 1, Earth 2, or Earth 3? And when we say that we're on Earth 3, have it all been on the same planet? Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or did the planet, when they created a whole new planet?
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
not given me any details about that whatsoever, so I know nothing about that. But the
See
other
if
thing, so we'll see if she'll say something. Um, the other thing that I wanted to say was just slipped my mind. Um,
Anger being constructive?
oh yes, about the duality. Like, so why do we experience this? Well, because for whatever reasons on Earth, there's duality, and so it's like in order to have light, you have to have darkness and the yin yang, like all of that. So So that's why, like, in order to create all this new love energy, we have to have the
Not
darkness
love
as well.
energy.
Exactly. That is the earth experience. So there is no earth experience without darkness and light. So I think that goes along with it too. Although my angels do say that there is light and darkness that we cannot perceive, which I always found was very interesting. And then the other thing I wanted to just touch on, because they talked about these people who are people now and are here basically for the first time, who have incarnated it on alien planets and both as loving and fearful aliens. And then now they have the healing keys. It's a more powerful healing key because they have both sides of the experience.
Yes.
They've talked about this in personal readings that I've had, where a person will incarnate with another soul and they'll both play victim and perpetrator to each other over lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And then they become a power couple for healing now. Like, so they incarnate a whole bunch of times on both sides of the fence and just, experience all kinds of trauma as the perpetrator and as the victim. But when they heal all of those experiences, now they both carry these powerful healing keys that lock together because they experience these things together. So then now, incarnated now, these two people, when they come together, it amplifies the healing keys that they have because it's like a double amplification. They each have incredibly powerful healing keys because they've experienced both sides of all these traumatic experiences.
Yes.
Then now when they come together, they're doubling up again on that. And so it becomes this exponentially powerful healing key. And they describe these people as power couples.
So you don't necessarily mean romantic couples.
No.
It's duo. And do you mean two people who actually meet in this lifetime?
Yes.
Okay, but they might be
when they physically come together in Earth's energy.
Yes.
Their healing keys are sort of meant for each other because they were created together.
Yeah.
Right? They were created through all these experiences that they had together. And that when we create an energy or a bond in Earth's energy, it's that much more powerful in Earth's energy again. So yeah, when they come together as people again in this lifetime and they've healed all of that, those healing keys are incredibly powerful. So there are people who signed up to have all kinds of lifetimes together where they experienced horrific traumas so that they can be healing keys for people now.
Huh.
And what a gift that is that they're giving the world.
And going back to her, I mean, her message was mostly about aliens, really, basically. So I guess it could be people from that experience or not, right? It could be any kind of
it's any kind, but
victim perpetrator.
Yeah, but she reminded me of it because that's what is happening with these aliens. Like they hold both sides of that experience, the loving and the fearful side, and so they're a powerful healing key. And so yeah, it reminded me of that. And I think that that's part of the light and darkness, the healing that comes out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I'm ready to see what else she has to say.
Okay. Well, I did just want to mention that I talk about great trauma and great suffering. Sometimes I just wanted to throw in that I talk about this with a lot of compassion for the people who have to go through it, right? Like I haven't had, have I had trauma in my life? Like, yes. But this lifetime haven't had, you know what I mean? Like, so I've had a pretty easy life. And I have, even though like we're saying like, oh, well, you have to go through it to learn it. Like, that's part of why we're asking, why does it have to be? And that I want to hear what Pele has about it, because I mean, I have great compassion for people who have to go through this stuff. It doesn't make it it's pretty hard when you're in a horrific, whatever it is, illness, war, like whatever happens, abuse, anything, to like, I know that that's the challenge, but to keep in mind that this is something that you planned and all that, because you talked about that at the very beginning, like people say there's no way I would have planned this, or maybe Pele said that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But yeah,
anyway,
it's exactly. I mean, talking about it and experiencing it are two completely different things.
yes. Exactly.
And yeah, when you're in it, it's not so easy to see the light, but you also have to feel it. So it's this balance of both.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else she has to say. This is Pele again. Wow. That was an intense discussion. I do have a few things to add. And then I have another message. And then we will call it a day. So you asked, why is there so much suffering? This is a complicated issue because as a human incarnated, you have a limited capacity to understand this fully. That is because you live in duality and often have a belief in right and wrong. However, I will try to explain. The Earth experience was to come in and be able to choose love from a blank slate. The story of Cain and Abel is a metaphor for how the people on earth began to experiment with darkness. The people came in on a blank slate and forgot who they are. Then they began making choices and having experiences. And these experiences were sometimes traumatic. The first people had a difficult time understanding how to heal a traumatic experience. And this led to their experiences becoming karma for their next lifetime. This continued over many, many, many lifetimes and built up, as Cindy explained. However, there is another piece of this puzzle. love energy was also stronger on Earth in those beginning days. The love energy flow to Earth has been reduced drastically over the lifetime of Earth as people began bringing forward more and more karma. There is only so much room within a human body for energy to live, and karma takes up space. So, as people brought forward karma from their past lives, they had less room for their own love energy imprint. And some people on Earth now have very little love energy within their bodies. And this leads to all sorts of physical problems. Love energy is life energy. And with little love energy, you experience many physical ailments and diseases. So this has been building up for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now, a person must carry love energy within them to be alive on Earth. So everyone carries some love energy within them. However, karma takes up a lot of space. As the karma is healed and released, more love energy rushes in to replace it. And in that way, the love energy available on Earth is increasing rapidly. Now you asked about the two failed Earths. These Earths were brought to conclusion without a catastrophe. There is some belief that Earth was destroyed, and that led people to believe Earth would be destroyed again. However, the Earths that failed were simply stopped. We shut down the experiment once we knew that it failed. There was no reason to let it play out. The karma around Earth being destroyed is a karma that many brought forward from past civilizations of this Earth incarnation. All the ancient civilizations, as well as Atlantis. So this incarnation of Earth is all brand new. When people began incarnating on this incarnation of Earth, we began with a clean slate, and all the history of the previous two Earths was erased from our energetic bodies. However, now that Earth is a success, we are able to bring forward our karma from those past incarnations of Earth and heal that karma in this Earth's energy. This is difficult to explain. And we are going to explain this at another time. So now I have something else to share with you. Right now, Earth is in a chaotic time period. And this feels very fear-inducing for many people. This is as it is. The fear needs to come up to be healed. Most of the fear is being triggered by things that are not real in a sense. Real things are happening, but the fear being triggered is more than the fear for those real things that are happening. The fear coming up is past life fear, as well as the real fear. This creates a feeling of chaos more than what is actually happening. There is something you can do to help this chaotic experience be a bit calmer and more peaceful. Share your love energy as much as possible. You have a powerful love energy imprint with many healing keys. And you have powerful ability to share this love energy imprint with everyone on earth. You may think about individuals, or you may think about a certain area of the world, or you may think about everyone on earth now. And you may send love energy to their journey. This will help a lot more than you realize. One last thing I wish to share. There is going to be an alien experience soon. This alien experience is not the loving kind. This alien experience will bring up a tremendous amount of fear around the world. This is being, no, this is becoming a love energy experience by bringing up tremendous amounts of fear. The fear will come to the surface, and love energy will be able to replace the fear as it is released. In this way, this fear-related alien experience will actually bring in a tremendous amount of love energy to the world. See how fear brings in love energy? As fear is released, it makes room for more love energy. So, as light workers, you will be able to help this experience be more peaceful by focusing on love and sending love to everyone around the world. This experience will last a month or two of intense fear. this will ripple around the world and be felt by almost everyone. You now have a heads up, and you have an ability to help ease this experience for everyone around the world. And with that, she's done.
Okay, hold up though. I have a question before she leaves.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's okay.
because
I did not expect that.
no kidding. And I won't get into it, but can I just ask? Maybe she'll just,
Yeah.
okay, just see him. Because the comments are gonna go, okay, like when? I
Yeah.
know. You know, hang on though, because usually, okay, Cindy and I, like, for the 30 years that and for the number of years that we've been talking to our angel, they're like, they never tell us when for anything. They will never answer when, but they have answered when about Pele, like on January 1st, we got a big win, like this year. So she says there's going to be an alien experience soon, and it'll last a couple of months. Is this okay? So I'll frame it a certain way. Is this before or after Pele incarnates? Is this happening this year or just anything, Pele? Come on. We'll just see what she says. She probably has a sense of humor too.
Oh, she does. Oh, she does. This is Pele. And you always want to know when. Well, yeah. Hello. We're human. This is all I can say. This will happen before the mass awakening. And this will bring in the love energy necessary to accommodate the mass awakening. So this is a much needed experience to boost the love energy on Earth in order to reach the levels needed to kick off the mass awakening. Now, I will also say this. This will be happening at the same time as the light beings begin to show themselves to a few people around the world. So, the light beings making first contact and appearing as children to individual people around the world needs as much love energy as the mass awakening. However, there are a few people who are ready and waiting for this experience. And there are light beings that are preparing to appear to a few people ahead of the real beginning of first contact around the world. So there will be a fear-based alien experience at the same time as a few people around the world will have their first contact with light beings. And these people are going to have something very special that they will take part in that will help to ease the fear of this fear-based alien experience. So, the people who have beings of light contact them first will be able to participate in an energetic project that will help to ease the fear of people around the world as they release their fear from many lifetimes of karma. That is all I can say for now. Okay.
That's okay. Thank you, Pele. She did. She said a lot. She didn't just say, because we've had it where they just say, I can't tell you that.
I know. Or the pendulum does not move. They're like, no.
Yeah. And we're like, fine. Oh my goodness. Okay. So during that last part, I was rushing, like
Really?
crazy rushing. Okay. Rushing
Oh.
is when energy moves through me. Cindy and I call it rushing. It's like to
The
us, it's
tingles
a
of truth.
confirmation of truth. Yeah. Tingles. What did you say?
Tingles of truth.
Yes. Yes. And sometimes it's just a little, you know, but then there've been times during some of these other messages that I've said, like, it's just,
So during this fearful
during
alien
hang
invasion
on,
thing?
Sorry, just a second. I got it. Just a second. It's right here. During the two parts, the sharing love, like it's going to be a chaotic time, and that we can share. This reminds me of like again, another thing I don't have that much experience with. I don't know why all these things are coming up that I only know a little bit about, but people help us out in the comments anyway. Meta meditation, you know, when you send out to the world, meta, M-E-T-A.
I've
Anyway.
never heard of that. I mean, I know about sending out, but I
I'm
didn't know
sure
it had a name.
someone will elaborate in the, there's this, it's loving kindness. Anyway, reminds me of some of that, like about just, so first she just talked about sending love out, but then she gets into the really, when I was rushing was during this whole, like, so we're going to have the alien, negative alien experience.
Yeah.
And the light beings appearing to a few people as children, not to the humans being children. The light beings appear as children.
Yes.
It says so in Cindy's book. That's right there on her shelf. I'm pointing at you, shelf. Yeah, right there. That they appear as children to not be so fearful. So we got this super scary alien experience going to be happening with whatever that is going to be. And then this other experience happening for some of us that we'll be able to help with the sending love. I see how it's all like tying up together.
Yes.
So that there's at least, those of you had your head down, I know, channeling, but while she's talking about that, there's a few that are going to have the first appearance, I'm like, please pick me. I'm ready.
Horseshack. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Please, me. You gotta be a certain age to know who Horseshack and certain culture to know who Horseshack was.
Yeah, I forget about that, eh?
Yes. So because, okay, like, but I'm glad that she ended like this. And I just, I love how this episode has gone, but a lot of times it does. how everything ended up over into suffering and fear and getting through this big, I'm going to call it this big chunk of fear karma that needs to be cleared, and it's going to happen by this alien thing. And meanwhile, earlier I had felt behooved to ask the why suffering thing. And you know what I'm saying? I just love how these just all flow and tie together, because I thought I might be sidelining the topic of the video. And we weren't at all,
No.
because it just, explained the whole thing. It's because as she's wrapping up and she's talking about this really scary alien experience that's going to happen shortly, I was kind of going, okay, Pele, like, can we not end this video? Like on this, like everybody clicks off the video and goes, like, well, nobody's ever going to watch another one of our videos, Pele. Like, we just leave them all struck in fear. But there's sorry, I got myself all excited. Now I'm coughing. There's really good that comes out of knowing this, right, folks? Like, so again, we're withhold the vision again. So I'm sure that when this alien, scary, negative alien experience happens, there's going to be a large contingent having beliefs and fear, believing that this is the end of this is it. This is what's going on forever now. Like, this is it. And we're never going to be out of this fear and this horrific, they're going to take over and that's it. And we're going to be, I don't know, whatever, in servitude. But she told us that it's going to last a couple of months, right?
Yeah. A month or two, I think she said.
Say that again?
A month or two.
Yeah. And so, and also, like, she alluded, like she said that it's going to happen around the same time as before the mass awakening. And we've had messages on our channel and on yours, mostly, and what most of our viewers are rooting for, that it's going to be this year. And then a little bit on your other channel that it might get shifted to 2025. Am I right? Did I sum that up right?
Early 2025.
Yeah, but that we can still root for it and bring it back. That was I'm like summarizing one of Cindy's most profound messages that she did on our other channel, but that's what I got out of it. Like, it might, the way probabilities have worked and energies have worked in that, it may have pushed it over, like not forever, into 2025, but we, by holding the vision, like we talk about in CFB 8 and 9, can pull it back over. So she says that all of that alien thing will happen before the mass awakening. So like, I feel like she's like, well, I can't really answer because like the powers that be won't let me, but I'm gonna like, can you figure out the puzzle? So I have a feeling that this alien thing might be this year.
Well, yeah, and that it's crucial in bringing the mass awakening to fruition, because it's the releasing of all of that fear that then allows the love energy to rush into those spaces.
Yeah.
But
this is a much needed experience.
Chaos.
Yes. And so this is a much needed experience to boot. I think it's worth rereading it like before we wrap up. I guess this is the good part of the big scary ending. So this is a much needed experience. Okay. This is all I can say when I asked when. You always want to know when, she says. This will happen before the mass awakening, and this will bring in the love energy necessary to accommodate the mass awakening. So this is a much needed experience to boost the love energy on Earth in order to reach the levels needed to kick off the mass awakening. This will be happening at the same time as the light beings begin to show themselves to a few people around the world. So the light beings making first contact and appearing as children to individual people around the world needs as much love energy as the mass awakening. However, there are a few people who are ready and waiting for this. And there are light beings that are preparing to appear to a few people ahead of the real beginning of first contact around the world. So there will be a fear-based alien experience at the same time as a few people around the world will have their first contact with light beings. And these people are going to have something very special that they will take part in that will help ease the fear of this fear-based alien experience. So the people who have beings of light contact them first will be able to participate in an energetic project that will help to ease the fear of people around the world as they release their fear from many lifetimes of karma. Because Cindy, you talked about in the last episode about how you can have a fear, or you can have a negative experience that's up here, or you can have a negative experience that's here. So we are going to, and then there was the earlier part that everybody can participate in this too, just by sending love energy to this. like
Exactly.
to everyone. It doesn't have to be only the people who the light beings appear to just will have more, will kind of, there'll kind of be a project happening.
Yeah.
But all of us can send light energy like as much as you can. Are you going to spend time in fear? Apparently, yes. But those of us who, especially those of us who've cleared a lot of our karma, who've worked a lot of their life now, finding ways, you know, me, I always talk about going to nature. I'll be going to nature when this whole thing is happening. And we can just pull it. Sorry, what was that? Yeah,
Hugging the
exactly.
trees.
I'll be hugging the trees. Yeah. And pull it over into a positive experience, well, a positive version
A more peaceful.
of a negative experience, because we have to clear this. It's like healing the cut, right? Like sometimes, okay, like they're gonna get gross, but sometimes like things have to happen when there's a cut healing, like in order for it to heal.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because they talked about how there's two experiences, right? We're each having our own unique journeys, but then there's also the collective journey. And so I think that that's what's happening as light workers now. It's like not that we've never sent love out to the world, but like shit's getting real now, and we really need to now ramp up as light workers in the collective. So
Yeah.
we've been walking our own journeys and doing our work and searching for the light and doing all that and clearing our karma and being light workers for ourselves. And now we are being called, and they've in the last few messages, and then even on my other one on the other channel, you know, it was a call to action.
Yes.
That it's time now to step up as light workers in the collective and
Yes.
sending that love out to ease this experience so that it is a notch or two down from mass chaos.
Boy, oh boy, Cindy, when we started the idea of doing this series,
No, I have no idea.
you don't know what we're talking about? Go back to CFB1. The first couple minutes, I explained how this all came to be, but we thought we were just starting a little talk show. Like where Cindy and I would just chat. And then it got to be that all these messages were going to come in, but still, I did not know until this series that like we were going to be doing this big call to action. You know what I mean? Like, folks, at the end of the New Year's video, we talked about hold the vision, and
Yes.
it's just this hold the vision thing is getting stronger and stronger with the subsequent messages after that one. So like, here we are. I didn't know that we were going to be gathering everybody into this, as I said last week, this peace, love, and grooviness group.
Kumbaya.
Right? Kumbaya, peace, love, and grooviness. But like, let's all, seriously, I know I sound like I'm joking, but like, we're like holding hands, sending a lot of love energy to the world here.
Now I'm getting the picture of Whoville at the end, and they're all holding hands around the big Christmas tree and singing.
Okay, still with us, guys. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. I believe we'll wrap it up for now. Cindy, did you have anything else to? Yeah, okay.
Just that forewarned is forearmed, and we are now forewarned. So we're ready and going with sending out the love.
Yes, but we've had a heads up. That's what Pele said. So here we go with the heads up. Thanks so much for joining us. As always, let us know in the comments like what what you think of all of this, and how you're feeling about the messages, and drop any questions that you may have, because you see that they do end up working into future videos. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope you have a great day.
Yes. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day.